You're an unsung hero, so I'll sing this song for you. Always trying to understand it, making noise and making clear. We're not gonna sit in silence, we're not gonna live in fear.
All Access, an inside look at what it takes to operate Iowa's largest entertainment and convention facilities. This is Iowa Events Center All Access from Iowa Everywhere.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of All Access here on the Iowa Everywhere Podcast Network. We're presented by the Iowa Event Center. Matt Van Winkle and Adam Flack, the Director of Marketing at the Iowa Event Center, joins us once again for another episode where we have a lot to talk about, Adam. It's October, and you guys have concerts. We have basketball starting up. We have hockey going again. I know you guys just wrapped up your Des Moines Community Classic. We'll talk about that in a little bit, but we're into the fall, and it's we're excited for things that are coming to Wells Fargo Arena and the Iowa Event Center this month.
Man, we're in for a huge month in October here. September a little quieter. Had the Des Moines Community Classic, and now we're ready to go here for these next couple of weeks. So right in the middle of football season, you get the Cyclones 4-0. And my daughter won a softball tournament over the weekend, so we're excited for jump into this week and get ready for a couple big events at the end of the week.
Yeah, and the Hawkeyes have a chance to knock off a top 5 team in college football in Ohio State this weekend. So a lot of cool opportunities for our teams and events happening in this state. But hey, we mentioned that you guys had the Des Moines Community Classic. You guys posted a really cool kind of a time-lapse video on Facebook from Wells Fargo Arena, kind of getting the ice ready. You got the team on, the Zambonis, and then you guys get this thing ready for Iowa Wild hockey that's coming up pretty shortly, yeah?
Yeah, it was funny because a couple weeks ago before the game, we had to get the Iowa Wild ice ready to go. So it was all painted and done. And then to do the NHL game, we had to cover all of those logos and all the paint. So we had to paint it completely white again, build it back up, and put our logos on it. And we got a couple questions when we debuted this logo on the center ice, like, hey, how, I thought you just did the Iowa Wild ice last week. And so we did. We painted over the top of it. And then our ice crew went through right after the game, really, and started shaving that down to get ready because we had training camp open today for the Iowa Wild.
Oh, nice. Well, we saw the Iowa Everywhere logo there in the corners. That looked really cool. We were excited to see that. And the Utah Hockey Club got the win. And it looked like their first goal was right. The puck went right across the Iowa Everywhere logo. So that was kind of cool to see that. We played that on two guys. That was pretty neat.
Yeah, it was a fun night of hockey. 5-3 score. The Blues got it started and got a couple goals in, and then Utah came back. We saw an empty net goal, and then after the game they did a shootout. So it's preseason, so they need to practice those types of things as well. So if you came down to get hockey, you saw some fights, you saw 8 goals, and you saw a shootout as well. So you can't beat that.
Well, we're going to talk about some of the upcoming events that are happening at Wells Fargo Arena coming up in October, some things that were just announced and things that tickets are going on sale just today. But for people that are coming down to the arena, we're all about time lapses here, apparently, I guess. But you guys unveiled a new mural, a cool time lapse here that you guys collaborated with Jenna Brownlee, a local artist.
Yeah, so it's one of those things that you see a lot in our venue world is really creating those Instagrammable moments for people, and they want to show that they were at the event or whatever. So we looked at a nice space in our backstage hallway, right as you head out to the floor for those people that have floor seats.
Cool.
Or it's right at the tunnel at the northwest corner where the teams will come out onto the ice or out onto the court. And we found a local artist. Jenna's great. Worked with her on conceptualizing it and putting it together. And, really once she got on site, it took 4 days to really put it together, and time lapse was done really well. So once you come down to an event here as early as this weekend, you'll see it.
It's really cool when buildings like this can really add some cool artwork. I was up at US Bank Stadium. I knew you were just up at a game there too, but They kind of have prided themselves on adding really neat art all the way around the building that people can, if you get to the game a couple hours early, you can come check it out, walk around. I know you guys obviously have the cool wall where you hang the state champion basketball jerseys on that people can see as they come into the building. But this will be a cool new thing for people to come see if they've got the floor seats. Then is where they can come see these, right?
Yeah, it's down on the event floor level. So if you've got a seat on the floor for an event, you'll be able to walk right past this as you come down off the elevator. We're working on a couple things for the concourse level as well. Maybe a couple new art pieces in the fort. So as you go through, it's our 20th year, so we've got to dress up some spaces.
Well, and if you're just the podcast only audience here and you're listening, it's a very cool, the kind of silhouettes of, we got hockey, basketball, football, some singers, and just a really beautiful color mural that's right on the wall there. So if you're at Wells Fargo Arena, go and check that out on that lower level. Hey, you guys had another cool recognition this past week. The Iowa Event Center was recognized by the Des Moines Business Record as the best place to hold a business conference this is your second year winning it. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, always appreciative of the Business Record for putting that together and being voted as the best place to host a business conference is great. We don't take that for granted. It's everybody that's involved from our food and beverage team and the catering sales team to the event manager and our operations and setup and teardown crew. So it's everybody working together, and it's great recognition. But you're only as good as your last event and that last client survey that you get. So we know we got to keep working on different things and keep improving the experience for our clients. And part of that improving is adding that junior ballroom, which we just opened last week, and went through and invited a bunch of clients in to see the new space. And then we also did some enhancements to our 100 level. So there's 8 meeting rooms right outside of that junior ballroom. Did a lot of enhancements, paint and carpet wise, to freshen that space up as well. And look forward to booking that space for holiday parties and weddings and small meetings.
Very cool. As we talked about in our podcast when we were down there, that's the old Iowa Hall of Pride building, if people remember that, just there off the south entrance there as you get up to the skywalk there. It's very cool. It's nice and open now. It's nice and well lit. You got nice natural lighting through there. And people can still book that space, right? I know you were saying you were getting some interest from people wanting to host holiday parties and stuff like that as we're getting closer to November, December when people are doing that. So how can people reserve that?
Yeah, just call our main line, 564-8000 and ask for our sales department. But we can definitely work with you on a holiday party package or even a bigger event that maybe you want to tie it into an Iowa Wild game or an Iowa Wolves game. There's many opportunities to utilize that. And we have clients that'll do their party as a pregame and then go over to the game, but then others that just want to use the space for the evening and reward their employees as well. So it's pretty flexible space down there.
Very cool. Looking at some pictures of it. It looks like you guys had some musical artists too down there that played too.
Yeah, that's Andrew Hoyt. So
there's Andrew. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, you may remember him. He filled in last minute at AJR as the opening act, as the currently scheduled opening act was in the hospital that day. And so yeah, we called Andrew to see if he would help open the space. He played for a couple hours.
That's awesome. Love supporting those local artists, as we mentioned, local singers and local painters too. So all about keeping it local here at Wells Fargo Arena. Hey, the Harlem Globetrotters are coming back to Wells Fargo Arena Sunday, January 12th. And those tickets went on sale Monday, September 30th, yesterday. So if you want to get those, HyVeeTix.com, right? Those are on sale.
HyVeeTix.com. That event has moved from typically it was in March and April. It's in January now, right after the World's Toughest Rodeo. It's on a Sunday afternoon, so it's a great day to come down and spend with the family. And it's always a good event when the Globetrotters come into town with their trick shots and the slam dunks.
Yeah, they really do a nice job. I got to talk with one of the Globetrotters last year for All Access. I think it was Hot Rod De La Rosa. I think I saw he's still on the roster too. It'll be cool to see if he comes back. But man, we were talking about it on Two Guys this morning, but it really is kind of that nostalgic thing where, I went to see these guys when I was living out in the Bay Area as a kid, going to the Oracle Arena. They were coming to see us. So I think they may have a couple different groups that tour the world, and they actually it's cool. They have a show, I believe, that airs, I think it's on NBC.
NBC on the Saturday mornings, I believe.
Yeah, Saturday mornings. I check that out every once in a while too. So and this is cool because I think they also offer a couple different package options too. So if you want to come down early and do some interaction with them, I believe they offer some of those too, right?
Yeah, they do. They have on the court activities that you can do, autographs and take a shot, some of that stuff. So there is a ticket package that includes that if you go to HyVTix.com. And then if you want to bring your youth basketball team or bring a group to the game, we have special discounts for groups as well. So you can call us at 564-8146. And Chase can help you get set up for your group. So that's a great way to get out. And some teams turn that into fundraising. So they'll buy the tickets from us and then they'll be able to sell them to their friends and family and make a couple bucks off of each ticket. So we have fundraising opportunities or just a great opportunity to bring your team out for a little team bonding and see the Globetrotters in January.
You can't leave there without getting one of those sweet basketballs too, the red, white, and blue bat. They have some of the coolest merch around, I think, too. So
yeah, they move a lot of basketballs every night. So they sell a ton of basketballs. They're, you see the kids dribble them down around the court area where they go down to buy them and, kicking them all over the place. So it is truly a fun time down here.
It's one of the few events where you're probably allowed to dribble a basketball throughout Wells Fargo Arena, right? Like probably during a Wolves game, they probably don't want you dribbling a ball.
Yeah, that'd be discouraged a little bit. You don't get on the court for those Wolves games either, like you do in the access that you can get here at the Globetrotters.
Well, another cool family-friendly event, Monster Jam, will return to Wells Fargo Arena April 12th and 13th, and those tickets went on sale today, October 1st, at 10 a.m. So little Monster Jam, they're going to pack in the dirt, and man, it's going to be. I have not been to a Monster Jam, but I think I have some friends that they surprised their son with tickets to this last year, and they just had an absolute blast. He loves them. He likes the little trucks. I guess there's actual like characters, like this one, Toro Loco. Like they actually have names of these trucks, like they're characters.
Yeah, like Gravedigger is the big one that everybody knows, or Monster Mutt, some of those. But we never know what trucks we're going to get until a little bit closer to the time.
Okay.
But they'll bring those trucks in, and you think sitting in an arena, there's not as much floor space, but we push the retractable seats back, and we get the floor as big as we possibly can. And with as big as the trucks are, there's not a bad seat in the house. So whether you're sitting downstairs or up in the 300 level, you're close to the action the way they fly through the air.
It's pretty incredible how they have been able to really soup these things up to do this type like one of our sponsors, Kelderman Manufacturing. It looks like this is something that they'd be right up their alley with these like suspensions and these massive tires. This is pretty cool. I got to get down there to see this in person.
Yeah, what's neat, they've got a center down in Florida where they house all the monster trucks in the off season or work on them and when they're not touring. And they've got what they call the boneyard down there, all the broken parts that they've gotten over the years. And it's pretty incredible space. Feld Entertainment, does Monster Jam and owns a lot of the trucks. And they do a great job of traveling across the country, and they're in 2 or 3 different places every weekend. And they put on a great show, 3 different performances over 2 days.
April 12th and 13th for that. HyVTix.com if you want to go see Monster Jam at Wells Fargo Arena. Well, 2 concerts coming up this week, Adam. You guys have for King Country Saturday, October 5th, and then the next day you flip around for Luke Bryan, that rescheduled concert Sunday, October 6th.
Finally, Luke Bryan will be at Wells Fargo Arena. So, booked him in 2020 and that canceled, of course. Book him again for 2024 and it postpones. So we are ready for Luke Bryan to get to Des Moines and play a Wells Fargo Arena show. Hunter Girl and Josh Ross opening. It should be a great night of country music. And of course, the night before for King Country. And for King Country, tickets are almost gone. So you do want to, if you're interested in this show, there's select seats available left on the floor. But that's about it. So you want to get to HyVTix.com quickly for those.
Yeah, I was talking to a buddy of mine about for King Country and didn't realize that they'd been around for so long. Did I see 30 years almost?
No, it's hard to imagine they've been around 30 years. They look young.
2007 they've been around. So yeah, they're getting close to 20 years almost of a band. That's incredible.
Yeah, not the first time that they've been here. They've been before. A lot of people are repeat customers. When they've seen them once, they want to come back again. So looking forward to that show this Saturday.
And kind of a cool Christian pop. We heard their the pre-roll there. It looks really cool. Like you get a lot of energy in there and kind of some upbeat, really cool music that comes through there. And I just realized that they're from Australia. I didn't know that.
It's a pretty neat stage setup too, from what I've seen. So it's a lot of them have the stage on that one end. They've got multiple stages throughout the center of the arena.
Nice.
So I think they start as an in-stage concert, but then, gradually work themselves back, or they work the crowd pretty well. So any seat that you get on the floor, where a lot of times you're at the back of the floor, maybe it's not a great seat. This one will be great because they're coming to you, throughout the show.
I love when artists do that, when they put, a stage in the back and they'll play, to the whole arena. They'll play,
Yeah.
4 or 5 songs to like a mini set in the back. Keith Urban's done that quite a few times when he plays Wells
Yep.
Fargo Arena. We got floor seats to that, and we were in the very back, and then literally he's playing right in front of us, which was incredible. That's cool. It'll be a fun show. So that one is October 5th, Saturday, and then, as we mentioned, Luke Bryan will be that Sunday right after. That's going to be a quick turn. How do you guys get things ready for band after band? I guess that teardown, that setup they got it down to a science, don't they?
That teardown is quick. So after For King and Country show wraps up, it's probably 2.5 hours, and they're gone. They're on the road.
Wow.
Everything's torn down. It's time for us to clean and get everything reset. Depends on if the tour is bringing their own stage or if we're using our stage, to see if we can leave it out there and kind of reconfigure it to get ready for Luke Bryan. But yeah, and then you're, overnight you're cleaning, you're getting ready, and you're getting the stage set, because then at 6 a.m. Luke Bryan's crew's coming in and setting and starting the rigging and hanging everything up into the ceiling. So it's a quick turnaround. Our operations crew does a great job. Typically, if you start at 6 a.m., they're probably done setting around 2. Get that set done, then they get their sound checks, and we get the floor chairs set out, and then we're ready for action. And then again, after the show, we're tearing it down again and getting them on the road to the next stop.
Well, from concerts to back to sports, we've talked about it, but the Minnesota Timberwolves, Philadelphia 76ers, little NBA preseason in Iowa, that's coming up next Friday, October 11th. And those tickets are on sale as well.
They are on sale, and they are going really well. So we're going to have a huge crowd here for the Timberwolves, bringing Naz Reid and the team back to Des Moines. Yes, Anthony Edwards is there, but we gotta cheer for Naz Reid, who played here for the Iowa Wolves for a couple years. So looking forward to getting the Wolves in here. Obviously, Nick Nurse coming back. I know they're going to do some things around town for him that weekend. But that Friday night is going to be great. We'll see what players play. I assume most of them will. I know when we hosted the Warriors, most of them played at least part of the game. So we're looking forward to both teams getting down here.
Nice. Really cool to have professional basketball down here. And the Timberwolves have just done a great job with the Iowa Wolves down here, and growing this fan base. And the NBA is just incredibly growing in popularity every year, and really, investing in their superstars. And it sounds like the Wolves might be losing one of their superstars, but man, they, like you said, Naz Reid and Anthony Edwards and Joel Embiid for the Sixers. So there definitely will be some stars in the crowd.
Yeah, my son's a big Jared McCain fan from Duke, so he's looking forward to seeing him play for the 76ers. And yeah, I mean, the Wolves have done a tremendous job, very similar to the Iowa Wild and the Minnesota Wild and how they've kind of interacted. But the Timberwolves have done a great job, obviously bringing this game down here, but also they do typically a Timberwolves night throughout the year, so they're really pushing the NBA and that fan base here. And you can see where a lot of people used to like the Bulls and some other teams in the NBA. I think Des Moines becoming a Timberwolves town.
I love it. Very cool. And again, that game is Friday, October 11th, hivtix.com if you want to get down to Wells Fargo Arena and see the NBA in Iowa. And then finally, as we kind of wrap up, the Iowa Wild are getting their season going the following days. You're going to go back from basketball to hockey. The Wild start their season at home October 12th, and those tickets are available. Season tickets, too, if you want to get those.
Yeah, so that changeover from concert to concert is probably easier than basketball to hockey or vice versa. So the changeover crew is going to have a lot of work over these next couple of weeks, but we love it. Just going back and forth from event to event. You got the basketball floor out. Obviously, the dasher boards stay. So the first thing you do since you have the floor covered, you got to bring your crew out to take the basketball floor down first. So you're removing all the chairs. You're getting the basketball floor taken apart and put on their carts. At the same time, you're almost wheeling out the plexiglass to put up the glass for hockey, and putting that glass up at the same time before you uncover the ice. And so get all that glass up all the way around, get the nets connected, and then you're uncovering the floor and hoping the ice is ready to go.
Yeah, great to get hockey back. When you get hockey started, it really means that fall and you're heading into winter, and love when this time of year comes around and get the holidays coming up pretty soon. Tickets starting at just $18 for Iowa Wild games. It's really a really fun entertainment to bring the family down, and they'll have games going on throughout the fall and into the winter. So make sure you iowawild.com to check out their schedule. Correct?
Yeah, it's the best place to go. And they do a great job with their promo nights. So, whether it's a season magnet schedule coming up for the first weekend or the drink specials that they have and the weekday games, they do some more stuff geared towards kids. So, just look at the schedule and you can see what promo nights they have coming up, whether it be a kids giveaway or a drink special.
Cool. Well, as we kind of keep the hockey, the ice theme, Disney on Ice, as we've talked about, is returning to Wells Fargo Arena.
So it opens Thanksgiving night, November 28th, I believe it is. Plays through Sunday, December 1st. 9 different performances over those 4 days. You got 1 performance on Thursday night. You've got 3 on Friday, 3 on Saturday, and then 2 on Sunday. So it's a great weekend. Plenty of performances to choose from that fit your schedule the best. You can still watch your Black Friday football and take your Thanksgiving nap and then still get down here for that Thursday night. But a lot of different options, and Mickey's Search Party is here, and a lot of different performers, throughout that hits on a lot of different Disney shows.
Cool. And we're going to have a contest running at iowaeverywhere.com where you can enter to win a family 4-pack of tickets to the Saturday, November 30th, 7 p.m. show. So if you're available and you want to come see Disney on Ice, we'll have a great contest running for the next couple of weeks at iowaeverywhere.com where you can enter that and bring the family down. And yeah, as we said, see Mickey's Search Party. This is fun. We brought the kids down last year and just had an absolute blast. It's really fun. It's fun for parents. You get the nostalgic, you get the old movies. They throw kind of a little bit of everything in there too. So it's a pretty tight show too. They get you in and out, and it's a fun experience for the family.
Yeah, the technology they use with projecting things onto the ice now has just continually improved as you get more technologically savvy with how to produce these different events. So yeah, when you came 20 years ago and it was just the white ice, maybe a couple fireworks that went off, maybe some lights. Now they're really using those digital screens and projectors onto the ice a lot better. So just adds more to the event.
You were saying you've been coming to Disney on Ice. Did you come when you were a kid down at Vets?
Yeah, I came when I was a kid. It was always a tradition of us. We come opening night, we'd come down and go to dinner and then go to the show. So I think, we started when I was really little and went all the way through high school because my mom just couldn't get rid of that tradition. So we were the oldest kids in the crowd probably a couple of those years.
So before we go, we always like to kind of like hit on kind of topical things. As we talk about like the NBA courts, you kind of transition that to ice. I saw, was it Front Office Sports had an interesting post today, Ad. I don't know if you saw this, but Kentucky is going to be debuting a new LED video court. Video court. You heard that right. It's going to be the very first ever college basketball event on a full LED video court. ASB glass floors tech has been used for the NBA All-Star Game, so you maybe have seen that, and Basketball Championship League final. But it's interesting as I play this video. If you're on the podcast audio, you might want to just check this out on the stream. But it looks like it's kind of just like a blank canvas, and then they must project.
Yeah.
Is it project or is it something that's coming from the floor? I'm curious how this technology works. You've seen this?
My guess is that it's projected, but I don't know that for sure. I mean, I can find out because fun fact, Rupp Arena, where Kentucky plays their home games, is one of our Oakview Group
cool.
facilities. So I was just there. It was funny. I was just there a couple months ago, and they had just laid out their brand new floor because they had gotten a new floor for this year. And so then to hear that, they got a new floor, but we're not going to use that right away. We're going to bring out this glass floor and do the projections. It's pretty cool. I haven't seen that in college basketball yet. So obviously they did it in the NBA All-Star game or at least All-Star weekend. I don't know if they played the game on it or not, but I'd be curious how the floor reacts to, your feet and the ball.
Yeah, because you go to these like kid centers and they have these things where you can step on them and they're kind of like motion sensitive where they can sense where you are on the floor. That's why I'm curious, like if it's projecting, it must be projecting from the bottom, because if it was coming from the top, it would get all splotchy and you wouldn't be able to see it, right? It has to be from the floor.
I would think so. It's got to be from the floor.
Wow, it's like a giant TV screen on the court. that's cool because you can, I mean, think about the advertisements and stuff that you can kind of just like throw
Right.
on there if you want.
Yep.
Like, it looks like they have the state of Kentucky and the 3-point lines are glowing and outlined. That's cool.
Yeah, I think it'll be a while before the NCAA would allow that in an actual game. But for their Midnight Madness thing or whatever they're using it for, that'll be pretty neat to see.
Yeah, I do remember that from the NBA All-Star game that it looked it was very eye-catching for sure. It's very colorful and yeah, that's interesting. Well, maybe that's the next investment that Wells Fargo Arena will have to make for our
We'll
court.
see. I mean, I'm a traditional floor guy.
Okay.
Like you
Yeah.
see a lot of those courts. I know UCF, which is another one of our venues, had the blacktop court for a couple years, and I don't know. That's tough. It's like watching a football game on the blue turf or the red turf at Eastern Washington. I'd rather traditional court, real basic.
Yeah. Well, cool. Well, some cool events happening at the arena this week, as we mentioned, for King and Country and Luke Bryan, and tickets are still available for both those shows, right?
Correct. Yep.
Cool. Awesome. Hy-Vee ticks for those and any of the shows that you heard about throughout this episode of All Access. Adam, appreciate you. This was fun, and stay busy down there, all right?
Matt, thanks for taking the time, and go Cyclones.
Awesome. Well, for Adam Flack, I'm Matt Van Winkle. This has been another episode of All Access presented by the Iowa Event Center.